Stream, y'all. I made some changes. Yeah, I always was against using clean and dope. Hold on, let me pause the game real quick. Let's go to. Oh wow, why my shit not working? Okay. I see. I was always like back. I don't know who it was, but back in the day, I don't know. It was a streamer that told me like back in 2014, 2013. Mind you, this was like the graphics card. What was my first graphic card? Was like a 970. No, the 980. I had like the first 980 when I made my first build. And people was telling me you want to use x264 for streaming. You want to use your CPU for streaming. So that's why when I did my first build, it was an i7 4790K. Like I always pick the best CPU for what I can, for what I'm going to be prepared for in advance. So I got the i7. It was a 4-core, 8-thread processor at the time. It was like one of the best at that time, the 4790K. And when I went into streaming, people was telling me, I think the first game I started off with Payday 2 when I first started streaming in 2013. And people were saying that maybe it was different back then. X264 is the one to use for streaming. X264. You want to have a good processor and put that processor to work and let the graphics card do the game and let the CPU handle the processing and encoding for your stream. So the other day, I just got fed up with it. I'm just like, yo, I did try NVENC back in the day, like in 2015 or some shit like that. Yes, it did relieve the stress and the ease work for your CPU and put it on the graphics card. But I didn't like the way the stream looked. Like when my stream looked, it looked pixelated. Like you can see the pixels when you're playing certain games. Like when you play Gears of War and you're doing a roadie run, but you see the pixels and shit. I didn't like the way. Like this is when anything like first started. So I went back to X264. I've always been using X264. So the other night, a couple of nights ago, I'm laying in bed and I'm watching the Harris Heller video, and he's saying for single build streaming PCs, you want to use NVENC New. So I was like, Shadow's been trying to get me to use NVENC New for a minute. I always didn't want to use it. After paying $1,000 for a fucking processor, I want to put that shit to work. I don't want my money to go to waste. I have the i9-7800X. I had the i9-7800X. It was a 10-core, 20-thread processor. I paid $1,000 for it from Newegg. This is when the i9s first came out. I got the first gen i9. I bought that because having that, I used to run a laptop, like a 2 PC build, my PC and my laptop. I would shovel off the streaming work onto the laptop while I do the gaming on my main rig. The thing I didn't like about that is my electric bill was getting fucking ridiculous. Like every day having those two on and streaming, it was getting ridiculous. So X264 gave you the best clean looking stream. No doubt about that. If you're gonna use X264, I would use it for streaming consoles. Like you got a capture card and you got an X264, that would give you a clean looking stream. But now NVENC New, since with especially with the 30 series cards, these 30 series cards have little chips on the card meant to encode your stream. They're built and made for streaming for streaming your games. And it only takes like 2 to 3% for them to stream. 2 to 3% of your GPU to handle your stream for you while you play the game. So I'm sitting there watching the Harris Heller video. He's like, yeah, you got a one PC build, you want to use NVENC new. You want your processor to handle all the game, and you want your GPU to handle the stream, which is not going to cost that much of the GPU to do, and the game. Because the GPU is going to use no matter what, the GPU is going to use 100% of the game. CPU, you want the CPU to handle other shit in the game. So the GPU, so when I switched it over, like what game I was having a problem with? I was having a problem with Marvel Avengers, and there was a Phantasy Star beta over the weekend, last weekend, Phantasy Star New Genesis, and there was another game, Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. I was playing that one. Dude, when I changed it over to NVENC new, and I put it on max quality, I was like, wow, NVENC has came a long way. NVENC has came a long way. I was shocked. I was like, holy shit. My processor, the heat on my CPU is not going crazy because my CPU used to handle the stream and the game. Now my CPU is just focused on the game, really. And I don't get high temps on my CPU. I'm watching my CPU now. It's not crazy. Remember, I have the first gen i9, so those get hot. Hot. I used to reach temps of 90 when I'm streaming a game and playing a game, depending on the game. I would reach temps of 90 Celsius on my fucking CPU when I'm streaming the game and playing the game. So, ever since I switched it over to NVENC new, I run the game through my capture card, and I play the game. I get my high FPS counts. The stream still looks beautiful. Even though I'm not using 264, the stream still looks beautiful. It's good, man. What's a single streaming PC? A single streaming PC, like you just have a PC you just have one computer that's handling the game and the stream. That's a single piece streaming PC. Some people have two PCs, a streaming PC and a gaming PC, meaning they take the signal coming from their main PC, like the HDMI from their graphics card, and they push it out to a streaming PC, another computer that has another capture card. So you're sending the signal from your main PC to the other PC. So while you're playing the game on your gaming PC, the other PC is handling your stream and everything. It's doing the process of handling your stream, and you don't have to worry about all of that because your gaming PC, all it has to do is focus on you playing the game, and the other PC is just worrying about you giving you the best quality of for your stream. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people. Some people use two PC streams. Sounds like a lot. It is a lot. I used to do it when I sold you that laptop. I used to do it, but I didn't like having my electric bill be crazy. Like I'm running two computers at the same time just to do one thing. So when the new better processors came out, they were like, these processors are so strong, you don't need two PCs anymore. These processors are so strong, you could fucking play a game, stream the game, encode a video, have 10 browsers up on your damn web browser, listening to Spotify. You could do all of that shit with like a 10-core processor. Because you have so much fucking power at your hands. You don't need to do all of that. Throwing shots at what happened? Damn, throwing shots at me for the two PC setup? No. I'm not throwing shots at the two PC setup. I had the two PC setup. Me personally, I just don't want to use two computers to do one thing. Like and the money, the electric bills, it was getting bananas. There's nothing wrong with having two PCs. for streaming, for gaming streaming. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a couple of people that do it, and they get the best quality. I think that gives the best quality. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the two PC setup gives the best quality. But I'm a firm believer. I mean, like, we have the technology out now. This fucking processors with like 20 cores now, 2024, and we don't need to have all of that. You know, I just want to have one powerful ass rig to do everything in one shot. Like that's why I've always been like. I've always been at that spot. Like I want to keep it just one. So one PC streaming. Yeah, I think your boy Harris Heller went back to one PC streaming rig. So yeah. It's just a lot of fucking bullshit. Like, especially if you run a lot of apps like me that could be interfering with your stream, then you got to narrow it down to like what's causing this, what's doing this. So I think he did, Shadow. I think he did when he went back to YouTube. He went to, I don't know if you know, he left Twitch. He doesn't stream on Twitch anymore. He streams on YouTube. I think he went back to one PC setup. I have to look at his videos because he's officially YouTube only now. He's done with Twitch. Yeah, his contract was up. Yep. What time is it? Not 43. So, um, yeah, man. NVENC News is pretty fucking dope, man. I think NVENC News is only for. I think he said it's only for cards 2070 and up. He had his build up with the dual system built into one case. That's dope. That is pretty dope. I've seen those cases before. They're huge. With you can put two PCs in there. That's dope. So, it's 2060 and up. Okay, so 2060 and up, you can use the new NVENC New. So, anybody that's on a 900 series, a 10 series, I would suggest upgrading. The super version of the 2060 has a better encoder. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because right now I'm playing this game. I mean, massive. It's the remaster. It's not too much demanding. I'm running a fucking 3080. The 3080 is a 4K goddamn card. So this game is not really gonna challenge my 3080. That's why I'm probably getting like 200 FPS and shit. But it's doing what it needs to do. You know what I'm saying? So as it was built off of a 2070 die, that was cut to a 2080. Nah, but yeah, man, it's. I worked got the shit working last night, like around 3 a.m. or something like that. I was just like, you know what? I think NVIC New is the way to go. I think that's the way. This is the way. I think that's the way. Because I didn't have any problems. I ran like 10 games yesterday. I ran World War Z, Marvel Avengers, um, what other games? WWE. I ran a bunch of games, and the streams were looking great. I still had my high FPS. I wasn't having any. I was not having any problems anymore. So I temps on my CPU. So put this fucking 3080 to work, man. You can get a new graphics card. Get a new graphics card, man. Get the new graphics cards. So my fault, yo. Let me get back to the game. Hold on a sec. I got a message. All right. Let me get back to this game. Sorry, y'all. Ugh. My Stream Deck's not working with my fucking. Hold on. Let me switch the